Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you all so much for following and supporting the channel. So, who do you think would win in a battle between Doomsday and Doctor Strange? The clash between absolute physical power and ultimate magic. Doomsday is the immortal nightmare of the DC universe, created from a desperate experiment to engineer the perfect being. He possesses limitless regeneration and is immune to any form of attack that has previously killed him. Each time he falls, he rises stronger, faster, and more brutal than before. He once defeated Superman in a legendary battle, becoming the embodiment of pure physical destruction. Dr. Stephen Strange, on the other hand, is the Sorcerer Supreme of the Marvel Universe. Once a brilliant surgeon who lost the use of his hands, Strange turned to the mystic arts and became a master of time, space, and the soul. He can summon cosmic entities, cast multi-dimensional shields, and manipulate reality itself through the power of the ancient gods. Before we dive into the analysis, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and tap the bell icon. Thank you all so much for your support. From the very moment he was born, Doomsday was stripped of everything, no love, no memories, nothing but pure instinct and hatred. He grew up in a world where everything wanted to destroy him. From bloodthirsty predators to the toxic wastelands of a dying planet, every moment was a test of survival. Doomsday began as a terrifying experiment in a lab. He was once a frail Kryptonian infant used by an alien scientist named Burton, who was obsessed with creating the ultimate killing machine. Burton's goal was to engineer a being that could survive in any environment, immune to death, and evolve endlessly through every destruction it faced. To achieve that, he subjected the child to horrific trials, endless pain, torture, and death over and over again. Each time Doomsday was killed, his body would regenerate, becoming stronger, more resilient, and increasingly adapted to survive. Through relentless suffering, both physical and mental, Doomsday was forged into the universe's living nightmare, a creature that knows no fear, cannot be defeated, and evolves every time it's struck down. That was the beginning of a terrifying legend, one that would make both Krypton and Earth tremble in fear. The brutal experiments of his past turned Doomsday into an almost unstoppable monster, a being that transcends all limits. He doesn't just possess immense physical strength, he has an extraordinary ability to adapt, allowing him to become faster, stronger, and tougher after every battle. The more he's attacked, the more his body evolves to resist damage, as if pain itself fuels his perfection. Doomsday can develop new abilities right in the middle of a fight just to counter whatever opponent he's facing. Every defeat is a new form of rebirth. After being killed, he comes back with a tougher body, now resistant to whatever once destroyed him. If a certain energy source once hurt him, his body adapts until it becomes completely immune. Even if his opponent can withstand every blow, Doomsday will continue evolving until he breaks through that defense, creating a terrifying cycle of adaptation and destruction. At his core, Doomsday possesses an evolutionary mechanism so perfect that every limitation he's ever encountered becomes a lesson for his body to correct and overcome. Whenever he faces something new, his biological structure rewrites itself, eliminating weaknesses and rendering past threats meaningless. He's in a constant state of transformation, as if he were the living embodiment of evolution itself. The most terrifying part is that even if Doomsday is completely obliterated, he can still return stronger, tougher, and immune to everything that has ever killed him. Because of this, he's become a force that's nearly impossible to defeat. No weapon or energy source can destroy him the same way twice. With each battle, his limits are shattered again and again. Thanks to this endless evolution, he has overwhelmed legendary warriors like Wonder Woman, slain Superman in their fateful battle, and even made Darkseid cautious. Every time he returns, he comes back as a storm of destruction, faster, deadlier, and without a single weakness left to exploit. Doomsday possesses such immense power that his very existence is a nightmare for the entire universe. He once tore apart a section of the Phantom Zone using nothing but raw strength and single-handedly wiped out thousands of Green Lanterns in an unending massacre. He can withstand the explosion of hundreds of nuclear bombs without taking any damage, and even grows stronger afterward. In one brutal battle, Doomsday managed to block Darkseid's Omega Beam's energy, capable of erasing both life and soul, and went on to defeat the Lord of Apocalypse himself. Every hit he takes doesn't weaken him, it makes him even more dangerous, as if every attack only fuels his endless evolution. When destroyed by a nuclear explosion, Doomsday would fall for just a moment before rising again, completely unharmed and even tougher than before. His very nature is defined by a single purpose: to annihilate everything that exists. He knows no remorse, no fear, no mercy, and he doesn't need a reason to kill. Every action he takes is driven by pure instinct to destroy. One of Doomsday's most terrifying abilities is his power to adapt and overcome any form of attack. Each time he's injured, he regenerates stronger than before, making death a meaningless concept. With near absolute immunity, he is considered one of the most fearsome immortal beings ever to exist in the universe. Unfortunately, despite his overwhelming strength and resilience, Doomsday is still a savage brute who relies mainly on close-quarters combat. This makes him somewhat limited when facing higher-level opponents who don't depend on physical attacks. I truly hope you'll hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot, and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. At the peak of his power, Doctor Strange was regarded as the greatest sorcerer in the entire universe, wielding abilities capable of reshaping the very order of reality across dimensions. He once stood alone against cosmic-level entities without any assistance, including Dormammu, the ruler of the Dark Dimension, a being powerful enough to challenge the Trinity of Ashes. Strange didn't just face Dormammu, he also confronted Mephisto, Satanish, Hela, Diamond Hellstrom, and Pluto, all at once beings tied to darkness, death, and the flames of the underworld. Surrounded by godlike powers, Strange never faltered, using his intellect, magic, and unbreakable will to maintain balance across realms. His power has often been compared to that of Skyfather tier gods like Odin or even Galactus. Through his mastery of sorcery, Strange once bound a fully nourished Galactus One who had just absorbed the energy of a mysterious planet and an immensely powerful cosmic being. To put that into perspective, a Galactus at full strength can rival or even surpass Odin, and has fought 4 mad Celestials at once, killing one before being overwhelmed by the fusion of the remaining 3 into a Super Celestial. The fact that Doctor Strange could restrain a being like that shows he is not only a master of the mystic arts, but also a symbol of wisdom, power, and unmatched resolve, someone who stands shoulder to shoulder with the mightiest forces in the cosmos. There was even a time when Doctor Strange defeated a starving Galactus with a single spell. While that particular version of the story isn't considered as definitive as others, it still demonstrates just how terrifying his power truly is. With a single incantation, Strange subdued a being that once threatened the entire universe. What's even more astonishing is that he once broke through the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, the same energy used by the Living Tribunal, the supreme judge of the multiverse. The Living Tribunal is described as the embodiment of universal law, an almost omnipotent being who oversees and maintains balance across all realities. His power surpasses even that of abstract entities, like eternity, infinity, death, Galactus, and the In-Betweener. The fact that Doctor Strange could counter an energy wielded by the Tribunal himself proves that his strength goes beyond the comprehension of gods and cosmic rulers. Strange isn't just a sorcerer, he's someone who has touched a level of power understood only by the oldest and most ancient beings in existence. This solidifies his place as the ultimate master of mystic arts, unmatched in both intellect and magical might. Doctor Strange has withstood countless cosmic-scale attacks and even reached a point where he wielded the Infinity Gauntlet alongside Adam Warlock. Though his time with it was brief, the fully assembled gauntlet holds the combined power of all 6 Infinity Stones, the embodiments of time, space, mind, reality, soul, and power itself. The fact that a human could control and endure such limitless energy without being obliterated is nothing short of extraordinary. Doctor Strange is powerful enough to serve as a conduit for the immense energies of cosmic entities like Lord Chaos and Master Order 2 forces that represent the balance between order and chaos in the universe. Through this power, he has helped defeat and imprison other mighty beings, including the In-Betweener, an entity that exists within the Superflow, a level of reality considered higher than anything most beings in the universe can even comprehend. The fact that Doctor Strange can interact with and manipulate energy on that scale proves that he's not just a master of magic, but one of the rare few capable of touching the very essence of the universe itself and bending it to his will. He's someone who can even merge with eternity, becoming one with all existence across the multiverse. To put that into perspective, eternity is the abstract embodiment of time itself, the collective consciousness of all life throughout existence. Strange has even managed to harm the pre-retcon Beyonder, a being often described as possessing limitless power, capable of turning any thought into reality, reshaping existence with a mere gesture, and even destroying or erasing the entire multiverse if he wished. I know the scan that shows him disrupting Beyonder's mind isn't the original, but it still demonstrates the scope of what he can do. He has withstood attacks from Juggernaut, Hulk, Silver Surfer, and even death itself. He's nullified the most powerful spell ever cast by Toboro. There are many more examples, but these alone speak volumes about what Doctor Strange is capable of. Doctor Strange was inside the Sanctum Sanctorum when the ancient magical relics began to tremble violently. The eye of Agamotto flared up, glowing with heat, not to warn of a mystical presence, but of a tear forming within the fabric of reality itself. Through the window of the worlds, he saw a sight that froze space in its tracks, a massive gray figure covered in jagged bones, Doomsday tearing through the boundaries between dimensions and crashing straight into the heart of New York City. Within seconds, the creature began destroying everything in its path. Strange immediately teleported to the scene, summoning the shield of the Seraphim to protect thousands of people from the collapsing debris. Doomsday sensed the surge of new energy and turned toward him. With a single punch, he struck the shield, unleashing a shockwave so powerful that Strange was thrown dozens of meters away as his barrier shattered. Strange instantly realized that this opponent wasn't using magic, he was simply stronger than any physical being he had ever encountered. He cast the bolts of Balthak, unleashing a massive explosion that engulfed Doomsday in flames. But moments later, the monster rose again, completely regenerated. The illusions of Icon were useless too. With one earth-shattering strike, Doomsday wiped out every illusion in an instant. Strange kept teleporting, dodging punches powerful enough to flatten entire city blocks. He quickly understood that every attack only made Doomsday stronger. Finally, Strange opened a massive dimensional portal in an attempt to banish him into a dead realm of space. But Doomsday clung onto the rift and with overwhelming force ripped it apart. A magical explosion erupted, hurling them both across the battlefield. Realizing brute force was futile, Strange resorted to his last tactic, a mental assault. Leaving his body, he transformed into his astral form and entered Doomsday's consciousness. But inside, there was nothing, no mind, no soul, just a burning white flame of pure hatred. That energy struck back, nearly destroying Strange's spirit. He snapped back into his body, only to be grabbed by Doomsday and struck with bone-crushing force, his ribs shattering. Through the agony, Strange understood that he couldn't destroy or contain this creature in any dimension. He needed a prison beyond the reach of physical reality, a prison of time itself. Channeling his pain into focus, Strange began chanting a complex incantation. As Doomsday charged like a missile, Strange stood his ground, pouring every ounce of energy into each word. The moment Doomsday's punch pierced through him, the spell completed, triggering a localized time loop. Time instantly rewound 5 seconds. Each time Doomsday killed Strange, the moment reset. He tried to change, to break free from the loop, but it was impossible. Space lost meaning. Time became his prison. Doomsday was trapped forever in an endless cycle of defeat, forced to relive his own failure for eternity, and the victor was Doctor Strange. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Follow me if you'd like to see more. That's the video for today. Thank you so much for watching.